the pass. No one owes you anything. I think you need a shotgun blast, a kick in the ass. So paranoid. Watch your back.
Hey guys, Taylor TKD Reed coming at you with a video on your roundhouse kick. I'm AAU U.S. national team member, as well as welterweight national champion, MMA fighter and kickboxer, as well as nutrition student and sponsored athlete, LHC Construction, Hammer Nutrition, endurance supplements, and Gives Us some Chiropractic, Wendy, 5th Avenue Massage, Aaron Whitefish, a couple other sponsors. Coming at you here with a video. We're going to do a breakdown of the roundhouse kick, how to do it better, some different styles, some do's and don'ts of our kick.
Okay, 3 things to avoid when we're doing a roundhouse kick. I see this all the time when I'm teaching it. We want to try to avoid these 3 pitfalls. The first is not turning our base leg enough. If I don't open up enough, I can't get the same amount of power in my strike. Second is driving up with the knee. Even if we have a good setup with some hands, get the attention up high and go to strike, if my knee goes up, I'm losing the power that I can generate in my hips. Instead, we want to turn the knee over and get more power out of the kick. Third pitfall is not firing off the back leg. If my feet are tight and they're in close, I'm very limited to the power of my roundhouse kick. This might be good for clinch fighting if I have a short amount of space, but if I want to really generate a lot of power, I need to sink into my stance and push out with both legs. This is going to allow me to fire a lot harder as I would from a runner stance and strike with way more acceleration. Next thing we're going to talk about is hand position. When we're firing from distance, just like we are when we're boxing, we can have a front hand down, whereas when we get closer to the clinch, obviously we're going to want to bring up into 4 points of contact. Now with our kick, what I prefer to do, instead of keeping hands straight up and attacking and pulling one side down, if we tighten our core up and keep it tight the whole time, we can bring our force with us instead of throwing it out the back, which means more force on target quicker. So when we strike, I'll do it from the other side so we can see, hands are up, let's say we're striking, we're hitting a combination, we go to fire, these hands are going to come with us so we get that weight included in the force of the kick. One hand's going to be down to cover, one hand's going to be up. Now if someone tries to strike over the top, the shoulder and the fist are in the way. In addition, if we drive our knee across, which is a huge principle of the roundhouse kick, the opponent's not going to be able to get to you. The reason for this is they need distance and time in order to hit you, and my leg is occupying that. So unless somebody Superman's over the top, which they'll have a hard time doing, they're going to be stopped by that leg versus striking up, which is something we don't want to do. We want to avoid striking that way. Now today we're also going to talk about the baseball bat principle. Now this dictates that if you're hit with a baseball bat, you're going to have more force delivered at the tip versus the handle. If you're going to get hit by one, obviously you want to get hit by the handle and not the tip, because the tip is where the most force is going to be delivered. Your leg is just like the baseball bat. Your foot is going to deliver the most amount of force. Now I know there's a big debate between whether to strike with the foot or the shin, and here's my position on it. Your foot has more power, and if you're more accurate, go for using the foot instead. Whereas the shin is more like bombing everywhere versus a precise weapon. If you get hit if you hit an elbow, let's say, and you hit with your shin, you could possibly break something. You hit with your foot, it's just going to be a goose egg. Your foot, what may be soft, has a lot of bones which diffuse shock better than your shin does, which is why I prefer to strike with the foot. I've done that in all my kickboxing, all my MMA fights, and it works out very, very well because you get more force on target and you have greater range. We think about the range of the kick. If I'm limited to this far versus pointing my toe and I strike this far, that can be up to a foot in range, which is a lot when we're talking about striking from distance.
Hey guys, so this is a instance where Machida used this same style of roundhouse kick in a fight. Alright guys, this is your traditional Muay Thai stance. This is going to be the first one that I show, and the second is going to be a more traditional Taekwondo stance.
Alright, so we're going to talk about stance. First off, the difference between a Muay Thai stance and a Taekwondo stance is that we're not going to be squared up, we're going to be sideways. That's going to give you a smaller target and you engage more of your legs. When you ever see a sprinter, they're never in front, feet closer together. They're always going to be down, ready for that sprint because you're going to get more explosive push-off in your kick. It's going to be the same thing in our stance. We're going to drive with a longer stance for our kick and then fly forwards. If you're standing too far forward like this, with your feet closer together, you're not going to get the same holistic strike as you will from a longer stance with more power. So that's the first part, is our stance. Weight is distributed a little bit more forward, feet are pressed out. We want backwards motion pressure on this leg so that we can activate with the quad and the glute as well, in addition to the push off of the calf. We're also going to cover our base foot. Base foot is the non-kicking foot. For my stance, the way I throw this is I get full rotation. The reason for this is it gives me more range. Also protects the knee. If I step first, and this is all the angle I get off my kick, and I go to chase somebody down, and I don't turn my foot, I'm now leading weight on my knee in an unhealthy manner that's just waiting for a knee to go up. Whereas when my feet are turned properly, I can reach over and skip into attack. Now we're also going to just talk about the takeoff of the kick. One of our 3 principles of physics here is the whip motion. When you take a bullwhip and strike, the reason why you hear the crack is because the tip of the whip is breaking the sound barrier. While the handle isn't going all that fast, you're still getting the same motion because of the force. Now your leg is acting in the same manner. Your hip is the handle and your foot is the whip. So the leg needs to be relaxed and you're going to whip the foot out. We don't want to tighten everything up in the leg and try to drive across because we're not going to get the same speed, which is going to translate into less power. So when we go to strike, we want to leave the leg loose and let it flick out.
Here I'm going to display a couple different variations of the roundhouse kick. There's a Z kick, which is also known in the MMA community as a question mark kick, as well as a fake double, a clench kick or dog kick, a patachagi or a place kick,
under attack, always coming in last, bringing up the past. No one owes you anything. I think you need a shotgun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope it helps you. Feel free to email me or leave comments, concerns, things like that in the comment section. Hit me up if you have questions. I want to thank my sponsors and also my siblings for helping film the video. Thank you to my brother Thomas, who's also a training partner, national bronze medalist, black belt taekwondo as well. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you a lot for helping out the video.